All right, and welcome back to Andy's Cavern. How are we all doing tonight, guys? Well,
All
we've got
right,
a treat,
thank you.
treat for you tonight. We've
Oh,
got Gerry
sorry.
Salford, esteemed boxing writer and pundit, and Gerry, Ireland's #1 boxing fan. How are we doing, guys? Are we all well this evening?
Good, mate. I jumped the gun. I do apologise.
That's all right. You must have heard the starting pistol. It must have been a false alarm.
Yeah, definitely.
How are we doing, guys? So tonight we're going to be asking a question that you may have heard before. I actually thought we had the answer, but it appears not. So, what's next for Moses Atama? Who wants to go first?
Jamie's very
Well,
eager tonight, so he can go first.
Jamie's what?
Eager,
Eager Jamie.
Oh, yeah.
Mr.
Eager
Jump
as
the Gun.
eager as a beaver, mate. Yeah.
That's
Um,
it.
we've heard a lot, haven't we? To be honest, I'm a bit disappointed with the rumblings. They're trying to dig Kubrat Pulev up. But apparently when they've done the negotiations, he's allegedly potentially pricing himself out of the market because Frank Warren was on Talksport today and he's going on about purse bids. Now, if they're even talking about purse bids, it means it's on the way, doesn't it? But I don't want to see that fight anyway. He's 44 years old. What can he give Italma? And they're saying he's a more credible opponent than Dillian White. It probably is in name only, but he's a ghost of of his former self, and he so not interested in that. Um, who were the other ones that were mooted? You were saying before, and
uh,
I've just completely
but I think there was Michael Hunter.
no interest in that.
Who else was there? Was
He
Michael
don't
Hunter?
fight, does he, Michael Hunter? Do you know what I mean?
He's a wasted talent, Michael Hunter. I thought he was a really good fighter. Yeah.
Yeah, it's because he's done with that Triller, wasn't it, in America, and just wasted his career.
Yeah. I
So
mean, I thought he beat um, Povetkin. Remember he had a draw with Povetkin. I think I thought he beat Povetkin. Yeah, you didn't.
go
Carry
on,
on.
Jerry. What are you thinking about all this?
Um, Andy didn't really get to say, so Andy, you finish. Sorry, I was just being cheeky bastard.
That's all right.
Go
Banter is
ahead, mate.
permitted. Who do I think? Well, I was hoping he would go down the British title route. But I think Adelaide was mentioned, wasn't he? But he's not the title holder, is he? It's Jamie Tashkiva and Big Fraser Clark are fighting for it, aren't they? They're fighting for the vacant British or something. So I would have liked to see him maybe take on Adelaide. But that doesn't seem to be in the mix, does it? His name, they were talking Michael Hunter and oh, who's the guy that just drew with Bacoli? Effie Ajagba. I think
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They were talking about a Jag, but yeah.
uh, so. That would be a step up to Jagba because he's still he's no past it, is he? He's not an old guy that's past it. So
It's fairly fresh.
sorry, Jerry.
Doug was fairly fresh, and for all intents and purposes, I mean, I'm not the only one that said this, but and I remember distinctly reading comments below the video of the fight of him and Bacoli, quote unquote, wow, Ajagba has improved a lot.
Mm.
And I completely agree with that. So I actually think that I didn't think of that myself, but I actually think that would have been a cracking test, Andy.
Ah,
But going back to some of the other stuff that you said, yeah. So we all probably would have fancied Moses to go the British route, and I don't. Why doesn't he just challenge all those Adelai's, Wardleys? Sorry, not Wardley. Clark's, Shakivas. Why doesn't he go after that lot? Because
mm.
there'd be step ups, and I'd probably put my money on Moses. And I mean, he could clear out that kind of domestic scene, and then something like the Pulev fight would have been a good move after that.
Yeah.
Um,
Because
but I'm not really buying. I mean, I could be wrong here, but the fact that one day ago, they're saying Pulev Itoma, and then 24 hours later it's Pulev Gassiev, that makes me think that fight already being made before the Itoma fight. So, and given what I just read about what Pulev has said about Gassiev, it sounds like they had their eye on him, and that actually might turn out to be an entertaining fight. But and makes more sense for Pulev. If Pulev had taken on a Toma, I think he'd been tricky for 5 rounds and then he got creamed. Or because Pulev's chin's gone, he's still like what I would say halfway decent, respectable, and definitely obviously would be a step up. But obviously he's seen better days, and I do think his chin's gone. But so somebody like Gassiev makes more sense for him. There's not really much more road left for Pulev to go. So and something else I said to you as well is I don't think that would have been made much sense for Pulev to have gone with Atoma because well the same thing that they probably said about the Zhang fight with Atoma, which was high risk, low reward. Well, Pulev was probably thinking the same thing, but I just find that really odd that within 24 hours there's a Gassiev fight lined up. So I don't know where that's all coming from in terms of the WBA calling for this Atoma defense. Surely, does that not mean Pulev gets stripped then if he doesn't back that up? Also, I'm just looking at the poster here for Pulev Gassiev. It seems to be being put on by that IBA organization. Have you guys heard of them?
Yeah,
IBA.
they're the Bent Olympic, well, ex-Olympic organisation.
Because they
That
put
said they were going to throw their hat into the professional prize ring, but yeah, Benter's a nine bob loan, mate.
well, they put on that cracking fight last week. It was on Talksport, Andy. You know the one with
Oh, the Russian.
the two old Russian guys. Well, one of
Aye.
them's Russian, and what is it? Oh God, I can't remember his name now.
That was a deep.
Sergey.
It was a
It
bit of
wasn't.
a Lavrov, was it? No, that's the body.
Um,
That's the Russian foreign minister. Sergey Lavrov.
it was Sergey Kuzmin and another
Kuzmin,
Russian guy who's quite old, but he's only had 10 fights, and he's looking to fast track himself into the mix because he's doing quite well. But I mean, he hasn't really fought anyone in top 10, and that was a cracking fight. But Talksport were raging, compliments over the IBA. So are they linked or what's going on there?
Well, it just shows how hypocritical Talksport are, really, doesn't it? Like, Talksport are hypocritical because they've got jug ears. I don't like to use the nicknames that are imposed by other channels, but he is jug ears. I've got no respect for him at all. I know you haven't either, Gerry. 1 minute he's saying, and not to drag Conor Benn in again, but I will do. 1 minute he's there going, "Oh, Conor Benn, I hate drug cheats. I'm there, like he's this and he's that." When he didn't have a seat at the table, then suddenly they employ him and he's up Conor Benn's ring piece. Do you know what I mean? He's like that with all fighters. With Dave Allen. Dave
Aye.
Allen last week. He was up his hole as well. And then as soon as the fight was finished, it's all about levels. I was saying, it might have been a bridge too far for Dave Allen. It's fine. No, you're you're a hypocrite scumbag, mate.
He's
So,
he's like a shapeshifter, isn't he?
well, yeah, I've got no time for somebody like. Do you know what I mean? He was injured, and all right, it wasn't to do with someone cheating, but it could have been. Do you know what I mean? And he's there kissing the arse of a drugs cheat, a 2 times drugs cheat. And yeah, he just does whatever, like you say, shapeshifter. So yeah, it doesn't surprise me that they're up IBA's bumhole. I'm very anally focused tonight, clearly. But
Bomb Bandit.
yeah, I'm a bum bandit tonight. Yeah. So family show. I don't know. They might be on someone might be lining their pockets, mightn't they? But
But that's a good
you know,
point.
that's not.
That's a good point because
Yeah,
I didn't pick up on that until you said. So I forgot that organization. That's who they are. So you've probably picked up on something really good there. You know, Spencer Oliver was all, and it's a great show that the IBA have put on. Look at the size of my ears. Jesus, can you see the size of my ears? You know
who's
what I mean?
that? Is that Dick Van Dyke started doing commentary? What?
Yeah, diagnosis murder, Dick Van Dyke.
Yeah, but I don't know. There's always a narrative with them lot. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? When they show themselves to have a bit of integrity, they let themselves down by them pandering to people like they did with Fury when Fury was being a big tart. Do you know what I mean? Oh, we're gonna suck up to you again because we want access. No, you're a
That's it.
professional radio show. Show some minerals.
Adam Catterall's only won with a set of kahunas, isn't
Yeah, he
And
done it with Frank Warren, didn't
he gets shot down when he
he? Huh?
tries to call it for what it is.
he?
Frank Warren
Simon
ambushes him.
Although, I mean, he's annoying me recently because you'd think he was like, you'd think Dana White was his dad.
who?
He's Adam Catterall. He seems to. I can't stand Nick Pete, but Adam Catterall's the one thing where Adam Catterall sort of lets himself down. He's raving. I can understand he's raving over this suffer thing and the Saudis taking over boxing, but he seems to just disregard the history of the sport. Like, oh yeah, it's all about Zafar and all that. And I get having one champion. That's something we've all wanted, but it's not just one man that's going to do the job. I think Turki Al Sheikh is a bit of a man child. Like looking at that documentary, that famous showman. He's not my cup of tea. He's a man that you can just tell is not being used to being told no.
Was
And
Dana White not trying to disband like the Muhammad Ali Act? There was talk of that,
yeah,
wasn't
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he's got to for it to work, hasn't he? Because he's got to manage him and promote him at the same time, and you can't do that with a Muhammad Ali Act. And he hasn't got a son like Don King had, like Carl King, has he? Where he can
he?
go, oh, I'll leave it to my son to manage through. Like I'll manage through my son. Do you know what I mean?
He could
So
always
yeah,
adopt somebody, couldn't he?
he could. Yeah, Adam Carroll. Pat him on the head.
Take him under his wing. Come on, son. What? Here's
Yeah.
here's one.
Here,
What about Gassiev or Moses Atumo? That would be a test, would it not?
I said that ages ago
Did you? Aye.
because Gassiev, he's smaller, fair enough, but he hasn't really taken a lot of punishment. And granted, he is older, but he's a step up. Like he is a quality opponent. He's
He was
not
a
really
puncher as well.
a lot.
Yeah, he's
He's
just
not really
30,
done a lot
32-year-old.
heavyweight.
Yeah.
He's not done a lot of heavyweight, but I mean, if we're talking about giving Moses some rounds, there's a guy who could give him some rounds.
And he'll have some speed over some of the bigger guys that he could be putting him in with. So that speed's a
Yeah.
problem, isn't it? I know Moses is fast, but he's used to fighting slower guys. But if you put him in with somebody who's come up from a lighter weight, they're going to have that speed advantage
Yeah.
to an extent. So that could cause problems. So that could answer more questions than just putting him in with some big guy that's going to be a punch bag. Like
Here's what I was thinking earlier, literally, and I only found out about the Pulev thing. I could see Gassiev can punch. I could see Pulev losing. And if Gassiev got the WBA number 2, what is it? Normal champion belt?
regular.
Regular, that's it. Regular Colt.
Irregular.
Irregular bowel movement.
What are you two on? Serious? Regular bowel movement.
Or irregular.
If Gassiev was to beat Pulev, that would be not a bad move then for Tauma to try and pursue that route.
Nah, that'd be that. Meanwhile, he could fight for the British title, while he's waiting on them. Fighting off, mind you. timing's going to interfere with that, isn't it? Because, like we said, Fraser Clark and Jamie Tushkiva, whatever his name is they're going to be fighting for the British title soon, isn't it?
Couple of weeks.
Couple of weeks,
Well,
huh?
yeah, I thought about if you wanted them to go for the British first, you mean, yeah?
Yeah.
So who do you guys think is going to be revealed then as the opponent then? Who could it be? A no-name guy, or are we going to get someone who we know?
Well, judging by, I know this is a bit left field, but judging by the guy Ben Whitaker's fighting next, I wouldn't be surprised if it's absolutely no name because I don't know. There just seems to be. I know he's with Matchroom, and obviously, you know, Frank's not Matchroom, but I don't know. There just seems to have this tendency to just build people up and then go, "Oh yeah, yeah, he's fighting some ex-American footballer." You know, he can't. I don't know if the rule still stands, but you're talking about the British round robin. I don't think Italma can fight for the British title unless they've changed the rule, and you have to be 21. That's why Nazim Hamid never went for it when he was. He went for the world title instead. So it'd be a bit pointless because I mean he could clear up, but it wouldn't be for anything. So
Yeah.
But sorry, I'm going around the houses. In answer to your question, I think it will be somebody. Don't be surprised if it's somebody like, what's he called? That journeyman who, you know, took Joshua the distance and then
Kevin Johnson.
Dillian White. No, not Kevin Johnson. That wouldn't surprise me either, to be fair. 55. No,
Jermaine Franklin.
Tony Thompson. Jermaine Franklin. Yeah. Wouldn't
He
surprise me.
he turned it down, or he was asking for too much money or something, wasn't he? Initially.
I
Did
heard
he
that.
turn it down? I didn't see that. So, yeah, maybe not then. Who do you think, Gerry?
I think it's going to be a no-namer. So that literally means I don't think it's going to be anybody we've ever heard of. And you know, obviously the criticism will be rife after that. So, I can't really say any more than that. What about you, Andy?
What about that Russian guy that just beat the other Russian guy? Like he was younger, wasn't he?
Oh, he's 38, that guy. Hang on. Talk amongst yourselves.
I would talk amongst myself, but I can't bloody remember any names. Who's it? What's he called? I'm really sorry, everyone. I'm tired. What's he called again?
Murad Khalidov is who fought Kuzmin last week.
Akoli. Andy, did you say?
What about Akoli? Yeah, he could be a.
No.
I think Akoli said he wouldn't fight him, didn't he?
What about Huey?
Huey
Can
Fury,
we just stop? Right? Listen, right? I'm not being funny. I'm not trying to call anyone out. Why are we talking? Why are we talking about Lawrence Akoli and Huey Fury? Pretty soon you're going to be going, is Lawrence Akoli getting his flowers? Discuss. No. Right? We know what I'm talking about. Let's not even mention it. I
genuinely think that Huey Fury hasn't had a fight in a while. Moses Tama needs to step up. Huey Fury could give him rounds. I genuinely didn't say that for a joke, like.
He could do, but I don't think it makes for a good fight. What do you think?
No, I'm not. Nobody mentioned it was going to be a good fight.
I think Atumo makes a fight though, doesn't he? He comes to fight, doesn't he? He doesn't mess about feeling out. He just gets stuck in there, doesn't he? So that could be actually an interesting fight.
Again, a name that I've forgotten because I'm absolutely ridiculous tonight. But I might have bloody, I don't know.
Was Huey Fury not been mooted as a Joshua opponent?
He was, yeah. Who's the guy that?
Is Joshua not going to be fighting Makhmudov?
That has been mentioned as well, hasn't it, since the weekend?
And Guido Vianello called out Joshua as well, and he's actually got more right than Makhmudov because he beat Makhmudov.
So he should be ahead of the queue.
What was the name of the guy that beat that was beating Wardley until we got knocked out last fight?
Oh,
Justice Finney.
Justice, yeah, Justice only. That'd be a great fight for Moses.
Yeah.
Not going to happen, but that'd be a test. Hooney's a good fighter.
Rooney's really good.
Really
Yeah.
skillful, eh?
I think he is. That fight was his, like.
Sergey Kuzmin.
Yeah.
I'm just seeing who he was fighting. Did you find who he was fighting?
I told you that.
Did you tell me already?
He's 37, old guy, only 11 fights. Murad Khalidov.
Khalidov, aye, yeah. Well, that'd be a fight.
We're doing well tonight, lads, aren't we? Bloody hell.
What are you trying to say?
Three lads discuss boxing. Should be in the memory clinic underneath, like.
Three guys suffer brain fog.
Yeah.
Foghorn.
The latest novel by Enid Blyton.
Here's another one to clear the air. Zhang versus Chisora is being mooted. What do you think of that?
Is that? Where did you hear that? Is that legit?
Yeah, I heard that on was it Sky Sports? That's what I was reading out a wee while ago. Sky Sports boxing, I think it was. Let's have a look. Oh no, that was a Tumo to enforce mandatory against Pulev. So they must be trying to go down the legal route. You know, with Frank Warren likes going the legal route. But I think I heard it on no, I saw it on something on YouTube earlier on. That's where I saw that. Talking about Zhang fighting Chisora. They're saying Zhang has signed and they're waiting on Chisora signing. But it's been 2 weeks or 3 weeks or something. Chisora hasn't signed.
Wow.
I mean, he wants to fight he can win, doesn't he? But I know we spoke off camera, didn't we? I'd like to see Chisora in with Moses just because, you know, I think it'd be a perfect cash out and he would get a bit more money as well because they're paying premiums to get Moses in a ring with anybody.
Yeah.
So cash out because you're not going to win a world title. Earn as much money as you can, and you can say you were a stepping stone for the next, well, for a potential king of the division. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, pass the torch, yeah. And I'm not saying pass the torch in the sense of achievements, but Fury's not coming out of retirement to fight anybody else but Joshua if he comes out, or Usyk. So you're not going to get a fight with Fury. So, yeah, and Chisora, you know, he's a British fan favourite, isn't he? He's not one of my favourites, but...
Yeah. Dave Allen says he's the hardest. The hardest he's been hit is by Chisora. I think what do you call him? Usyk said the same thing.
Yeah, well,
the hardest thing.
I mean, he comes at you, doesn't he? He does his bad Joe Frazier impression every time he fights. So I don't disbelieve it.
And if Atumo was to be weak round the whiskers and Chisora caught him, that could be a mega upset. I don't think that's going to happen, but that would be a mega upset if that was to happen. But I think Toma's so fluid with his footwork and his movement. I don't think Chisora will get near him. I think he would just get peppered.
If Italian connects with Derek Chisora, his brains are going to be splattered.
Yeah, lads. Bit of an out there suggestion. What's Tony Yoka doing now?
He's he has been on the rebuild as far as I know.
So he won't fight him then.
I think Dean White was promoting him for a wee while, wasn't he?
Bloody hell.
And his
Dean White.
Is it Black Box?
Lamar Scott. He's not actually his real brother, is he? He's called Lamar Scott.
Is that his real name?
Yeah, that's his real name. Yeah, that's why if you go on any videos with Dean White in, it's like, it's great to see. It's great to see Alexander Fury, like, cause just making up names, you know what I mean? Like, cause it's not actually his name. It's called Lamar Scott. Yeah, but he's big.
But why is he masquerading as his brother? That's why I want to know.
Because they were best friends, and I think he's saved his life a couple of times. Because in terms of like proper fighters, Dillian White is one very, very hard man. He's incredibly tough.
So they don't talk to each other, nothing like that, then, no?
He's what?
They don't fancy each other then? Nothing like that, no?
Yeah, well, I don't know, but not going to say anything, are they? But yeah, no, I think he's saved his backside a few times, so he's like, you me brother sort of thing.
I saw a video
Um,
with him. Somebody speaking to him, and then he goes, "Yeah, it must be quite an old video." And he goes, "Yeah, he's like a brother to me." So,
Mm,
aye. So that was that kind of way.
so
yeah.
Yoga was last out in March.
Who was?
Yoga,
Oh, was he? Right, okay.
the guy you're asking about. For fuck's
I
sake.
We call this episode the Unforgettables.
know. Well, I'll tell you what, we'll play the theme to Last of the Summer Wine or something, you know what I mean? Yeah, so Tony Yoka's out anyway, isn't he? He's not going to be. He's not going to
Right?
be up there.
Tony who?
So,
Offer him enough money.
Tony who?
Tony Thompson.
Tony Macaroni.
Yeah, Tony. Who calls him Tony Mediocre? I think that was on Boxing Asylum. Someone calls him Tony Mediocre.
Video.
But yeah.
What about Tony Tapioca?
Tapio.
Hey, tapioca. Yeah, yeah.
Tap him on the head.
Tony Tapioca.
Well, we've only got a minute and a half left, guys. Time flies when you can't remember anything.
Right, so we think he's going to be a no-namer, or we think he's going to be some deadbeat?
Oh, either or. Yeah, no namer. Even if it was a namer, we can't remember. So anyway,
Always a no-name for us.
yeah.
It's always going to be a no-name for us.
Mm.
Okay,
Wrap it
guys.
up.
We'll better wrap it up before I forget who we are.
Hello, yeah. Good night, everyone.
Thanks everybody for joining us for an episode of we can't remember any. This will be the most unforgettable episode, or maybe forgettable episode we've done so far. But I hope everybody's enjoyed it and as much as we have. And it's I'll say it's good night today, guys. And,
That's a good night from us.
and good night from
Night,
me.
everyone.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
Don't forget, like and subscribe.
Or else.
Cheers, guys.